Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's show. And what a beautiful evening it is going to shape up to be after yet another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We've got more of that to come in your weather forecast. However, some pretty significant changes towards the latter part of it, certainly from 24 hours ago. Yeah, the latter half of your weekend not looking as favorable as it was yesterday. So I'll have to give you a bit of an update on that. Sorry to say that the run might be over for at least a little while. I want to preface the program from this point further by saying it was recorded earlier this afternoon. Today is Wednesday. It is the 29th day of September, and it's Andrew's birthday, the 19th time around. Can you believe that? And in lieu of him being at UK and not home with Mommy and Daddy, well, that's where I'm headed. And in an effort to get there, I recorded the show earlier this afternoon. With that said, I do, however, have headlines for you this evening. A report that I've been holding on to for a few weeks now. Also, a breaking report of a man injured earlier today in a vehicle versus tractor accident on the Conley farm. So I've got a great deal of news to cover, and some of it, a great portion of it, you will find entertaining to some degree. It's nostalgic and reminiscent as well as we take a look back at the life of a local artist who we are going to see more shows from like this in the future, and I can tell you why, or someone can tell you why in just a few moments. It's a really great story, and Tom Whitaker is going to forever be with us one way or another, and that will be proven in just a few moments. With that said, the governor yesterday announced over 4,551 new cases of COVID-19, 1,465 in kids under 18. 395 Kentuckians still on a ventilator, and 56 deaths announced yesterday. In lieu of my recording the show earlier to make it to Andrew's birthday celebration in Lexington, I do not have local or state COVID numbers for today. I'll pick that up on tomorrow's program. I'll pick up our headlines for the rest of this evening's show in just a second.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Nostalgic or historic or whatever you want to call that feeling you get when you walk in and sit down at the counter and get a scoop of ice cream or a hot dog with sauce while your hometown pharmacist gets your prescriptions ready. Whatever it is, it's still here at Fraser's Prater Drug. Only better, with everything from Jelly Bellies to fresh popcorn to hot and cold gourmet coffees, even hot fudge cakes and banana splits. Fraser's Prater Drug hasn't forgot how important the little things in life are, and they don't want you to either. Stop and see them. They're just a couple of doors down from another Salyersville gym, the Seasonal Shop. Just click on ConleyTire.net and you can shop for tires, find out more about services, brands, wheels, rims, their free coffee, free Wi-Fi, and free local shuttle service, and of course the latest and greatest current offers and specials like how right now you can get up to $150 back on a set of Goodyears. That's ConleyTire.net, or you can always stop by in Staffordsville or give them a call at 297-2424. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Disappointing but expected words from Kentucky Education Commissioner Jason Glass, and I think understood by all students, parents, faculty, staff, and everyone, as the Kentucky Department of Education today released Kentucky's Spring 21 test results, and they indicate that less than half of the students in Kentucky schools scored at the proficient or distinguished level during this last testing cycle. Of course, this last testing cycle, students are struggling by trying to get educated either remotely, either in school, option, sometimes some of a hybrid plan for both. And with all the obstacles that COVID has presented, it's not surprising that test scores indeed would suffer. So the Kentucky Department of Education has essentially applied for, and I am understanding received, a waiver for federal accountability. Some school factors, indicators, are not going to be considered a part of this school test score release. The federal government granting that waiver in lieu of course, the pandemic. We also saw a significantly less number of students even participate in testing. On average, those tests see a participation rate of anywhere up to 98, 99% close to for state testing. However, it was a solid 10% off that mark at least, and then more in some areas. With that said, we will focus on the McGoffin County Schools, talk with our school superintendent and educators, and find out just how McGoffin County fared and how they're going to continue to try to cope with the COVID pandemic and testing this next time around. A McGoffin County man was seriously, but it appeared as though not injured in any life-threatening manner earlier today. A tractor accident on the Conley farm turned out to be a tractor in tow that was struck from behind. This situation could have certainly proved to have been much worse for all parties involved. The female operator of the pickup truck that had a older model tractor in tow that also had its operator on it, as well as the driver of the pickup truck which came up on the slow-moving vehicle from behind on Route 30 earlier today. The tractor was struck from behind, the operator thrown off the back on to the bush hog portion of the tractor, the collision hard enough to just tear the front bumper off of the tractor and do that kind of damage to the front of the truck that came up on the rear of the tractor that was being pulled by the pickup truck. The man on the tractor was taken for miraculously what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries to the hospital by ambulance. Upon my time and departure from the scene, the female driver of the front truck, the male driver of the rear, had both refused medical treatment at that time and suffer at most what appeared to be minor injuries. Howdy, Creeker. I'll have that in a moment. Right now, tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar with, again, the before-mentioned birthday wish. Yes, this birthday a little tougher than the last and most to this point, not just because our boy is 19 years old, but because he's also away at college, and that stings a little bit. But it's quickly overridden by the pride and the joy and the love that we share for such an amazing young man. So please join me in wishing our Andrew today the happiest of 19th birthdays, my son. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. I have a couple of things still from the Sagersville Masonic Lodge, and I've got one big change to tell you about. One. First, the Lodge is still thanking you for your support and asking for you, if you haven't been able to possibly consider supporting their Coats for Kids program. Call 424-6302, Paul Montgomery, if you can help in any way. Gumby, Paul Montgomery, called me earlier today to tell me, however, they've had to make a schedule. If you can help in any way. Gumby, Paul Montgomery, called me earlier today to tell me, however, they've had to make a scheduling change for the big horse show. It is no longer Saturday the 9th, Saturday, October the 23rd. Still here in Sagersville, still at 6, still kids 12 and under get in free, $5 to get in for everyone else. Scheduling conflict, there's another major horse event somewhere in Kentucky, and they couldn't get any judges. So the horse show has been bumped up to October the 23rd. This is, as you know, how you get calendar announcements on the program. Our calendar brought to you nightly by our local Farm Bureau agent, Doug Green, while the McGoffin County Funeral Home in Paul Burchell provides our funeral service listings each and every night. And tonight, funeral services, as I understand, have been set for 51-year-old Janine Wireman of Gunlock, who passed away on Sunday. The daughter of Odell Wireman and the late Daisy Shepard Wireman. She's survived by her husband, Paul Douglas, daughter Brooke Wireman, brothers Ronnie Dale, Kevin Odell, and Brandon Ray Wireman, and 2 grandkids. Services in Janine's honor are going to start This Friday at 1 o'clock from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will be the night before, Thursday evening after 6. And as I also understand, arrangements still incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon for 44-year-old Kenny Barker of Flat Fork through the Sagersville Funeral Home. And the Sagersville Funeral Home says arrangements are still pending as well for Mr. Frankie Dyer, 58, of Sagersville, who passed away on Tuesday. There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Sagersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved. Welcome to East Kentucky's premier vape and CBD shop, offering all natural tobacco alternatives and everything vape and smoke shop related. Everything you're looking for and everything you're not. Best quality, best prices, best service.
Come to Appalachian Smoke Shop for all your tobacco alternatives and accessories, as well as products like CBD, kratom, and legal THC that people are telling us they're using to treat pain, anxiety, depression, difficulty sleeping, and lack of energy, as well as just for overall wellness. Make it your one stop, Appalachian Smoke Shop.
Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works. 349-9999. Summer is definitely in full swing at the seasonal shop, where it is filled with new arrivals in home decor, women's clothing, Ridge and Holler, and more. They've given their home decor a fresh look, and they have new displays literally wall to wall, from farmhouse to traditional, equestrian, and more. And Oat Shore neoprene bags are the latest craze in women's accessories, and they've got dozens of colors and styles available right now, and new ones coming in daily. And lily planters have arrived just in time for school or work. And don't leave the guys out. Ridge and Holler shirts, yes, that's a McGoffin County Cadillac cap, and hats are a huge seller at the seasonal shop. Designs so unique and so special for our area. Designs you can only get at the seasonal shop, where they still have delivery, baby and wedding registry, curbside service, and more. The following report is one that I've been sitting on for a few weeks now. I couldn't, because of everything that was going on during the Founders Day weekend, get it edited and on the show before the art exhibit itself was over. So I've been kind of holding on to it now for the past few weeks until a day like today, where I might find myself needing to be out of the office and wanting to bring you something that you would most certainly enjoy watching. And the good news is that shows like this are probably going to be happening on and on in the future, and I'll let some family members explain that to you in just a few moments, how that's going to take place and how it's possible. But the art exhibition celebrating the life and work of McGoffin Countyan and Puncheon Creeker Tom J. Whitaker was a huge success, even amidst COVID. It was a wonderful success, hosted at the Renaissance Center by the Sagersville Renaissance Art Guild, which was founded by Tom himself. You know, Tom, like his art in all forms that he exhibited or brought it to us or presented it to us, it is hard to put into words, but the McGoffin County man considered growing up on Puncheon Creek and his family an asset to him and an inspiration in his works, as were just his daily life and surroundings. And without a doubt, he was a major influence on Eastern Kentucky's perception of art and how we are perceived as well in a good light. And he always stressed the importance of being yourself, listening to your inner self and not public opinion. Talented singer, songwriter, artist in all mediums that he chose to utilize, he excelled and became known around the country. Tom's works hang in offices and homes all across the United States. Some very, very much cherished. And with all of that in mind, and of course in light of his passing, there was inspiration to have an art show in his honor and to recognize him and celebrate those works, many, many works, during the Founders Day weekend here in Magoffin County. Howdy, Creeker. A likable, a lovable, truthful, joyful greeting, forever synonymous with the man, the personality, the creative inspiration that was Tom Whitaker. From the second you walked into the Sagersville Renaissance Show, you became a part of something, someone we've all cherished and gravitated to for a lifetime, for one or any of 100,000 reasons.
He was very unique. You never knew what to expect. He was a great artist, very great artist, and not only that, he singer, songwriter, wrote books, author, and he was just one of a kind is the way I best know how to describe Thomas J. Whitaker.
Yeah, there's no denying that. His originality in his art and in his life set him apart and above in the very best of ways and made him forever America's greatest Appalachian artist.
The most things that I've learned about Tom is that he was just an advocate for people in Appalachia, just to be ourselves and not to try to change, not even down to our accent, because even if you can tell in my accent, and I can even tell in my children's accent, that it's getting a little bit further away from what our grandparents and their grandparents sound like. We don't use our mannerisms, or we don't even really say the same words that we used to. Like my children will laugh when I say window sometimes, and they'll say, "Oh, Mom, that's not how you say it. You say window." So it's just little things like that that he advocated for us never to change, to always like push for our culture to stay around and traditions of our culture to stay around, and the people, and to let people know that we're not just some dumb hillbillies out in the hills running barefooted. Like, we've got artistry. There's things that's dying out that we need to keep around. Just even canning jars, making quilts. Whittling is something that you rarely see anymore, and bluegrass music, just everything that we hold dear to us and we can think back to, just like Tom would think back to his grandparents and everything that they taught him. Some of the sayings that they would say to him, he kept with him their traditions through all his years, and I can really see that in his art, the places that he would paint. We all know these places if you live here in Sayersville, just houses. In one of the shirts and some of the prints, I remember the house that used to sit in front of Mill Branch on Route 30, and because I lived at Mill Branch, and I've seen that house every time I'd be on the school bus. It passed it every day of my life, and now it's gone. That's stuff that, we don't get to remember unless somebody paints it or takes a picture of it or even tells a story.
And speaking of stories, we all have our own, or many, Tom Whitaker stories. Like many of us, memories of Tom go as far back as our early days.
We have memories of Tom from grade school, because he was like the pinnacle of when someone talked about an artist, they always brought up Tom Whitaker. But personally, I got to know him more in college, and if it wasn't the last semester he taught at Prestonsburg, it was pretty close to before he retired. I actually had the privilege of having his art class, his intro to art class, and it was one of the coolest experiences, because rather than focusing heavily on technique, he gave us like a prompt list and was like, this is your final grade through the whole semester. You take this prompt list, you choose so many of them, and you fill up a sketchbook. And the crazier you got, the more he loved it. So there was a day in class where he had everyone come and just like set up something out of that book they were proud of. And one of them was my angel or my devil. And someone had took like beer caps and just wrote the word beer. And he just loved it. It like it made his day. And after that, he always did the art club here at the Renaissance. And it had been years and years, but like there was just something about the way that Tom would talk about art in Appalachia that was just, I don't know, it's kind of unmatched, I guess you could say, because he understood it so well, he'd lived it, and he'd been away from here, and he'd been away from it. And he always talked about like the importance of like holding on to our heritage. And I think Jess has done a great job of kind of honoring his heritage.
I don't think it could have been any better. It went real well, and they did a fine job. Jessica did a fine job getting it together and setting it up.
Everybody that was involved, it couldn't.
Everybody.
It was perfect, perfect.
Tom graduated from the Sagersville High School in 1962 and then went on to graduate with a major in art from Eastern Kentucky University to begin his teaching career in 1967, before, during, and after being heavily influenced by rural Appalachia, just his life in general, his grandparents' traditions, Puncheon Creek most certainly. It was all seen and heard and felt through anything he put a note or touched a brush to. Evidence says his son Mike every time they attended an art show.
Well, what I could tell you basically is if I would be there doing the show and he would come later, I'd be there and there'd be nobody around. He'd walk up and be there maybe 2 minutes, and people would be all over as he drawed them just like that.
He sure did. And entertained, they loved to hear him.
And if you missed this show, don't worry. If you were able to come and visit the show and want to see a totally new one, well, don't worry. There's much more to come. They're still unearthing a lot of Tom Whitaker originals.
I mean, there's hundreds or maybe even thousands of paintings that a lot of them I'd never seen before. Just, find them and wonder when he did them. And he didn't sign a lot of his work either, which makes it hard because you don't know what year it was or anything like that. But we find all kinds.
A lot of those works unsigned because it's believed, well, he just wasn't finished with them yet. Unfinished as will forever be his work, his life. Still, a lot left to do for us to help him in carrying on, to encourage all of our artistic sides to be more free with how we express them, hopefully for generations.
I think seeing the personal side of an artist, a lot of people don't get to see that part, and when you do, it makes them human. It makes it more able to be attained, and for kids around here in Appalachia, it's something that they really need to see. They need to see people from here to be successful in things that they want to do with themselves.
And indeed, we look forward to the next show, wherever and whenever it may be. Now, there are a few select works, originals, one-offs that Tom has done that are available for purchase. You need to find his son Mike for more information. Some are just simply breathtaking and all instantly known and beloved as Tom Whitaker originals. So just to let you know, in case you're looking for any Christmas gift ideas, I did pick a few out myself. With that said, your Lincoln Valley RECC Outlook, I'm sad to say, has some changes for the latter half of your weekend. Some pretty significant ones from the forecast 24 hours back. My best advice weather-wise right now, enjoy it while you can, because almost at the very beginning of October, we will see the beginning of a pattern change that may stick with us for a while. In the immediate term, tonight, due to a weak front, clouds increasing but not making any rain, I don't think, just 54 degrees and cloudy skies tonight that will become sunny tomorrow and be gone for at least the time being. We'll hit close to 80 again tomorrow, and then 50 for tomorrow night's low under mostly clear skies. Friday, the first day of October, another beautiful day in the neighborhood. I think we'll push 80 again. Some fog at the onset, but sunny skies thereafter, mostly clear to wrap it all up on Friday night. Saturday, shower chances have worked their way into the first half of the weekend in just the past hour to the tune of about a 20% chance. Mostly sunny and 82, 61 that night. But we do have a low pressure setup that's coming in here on your Sunday that could be like one of several we'll see throughout the month of October, I'm afraid. So Saturday, mostly sunny, 20% chance of showers. Sunday, look for those shower chances to go way up. Still partly sunny skies, at least early, but a 50 and then 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms into your Sunday. And Monday looks to be mostly cloudy and an even greater chance of showers and storms. Temperatures will hover in the low 70s through Tuesday and Wednesday as well. We might not see the sun return till about Wednesday of next week. And again, it's this pattern of a low pressure system taking aim on the eastern Kentucky area and giving us some clouds and showers that we may be seeing more of than not throughout the month of October. September has spoiled us just a bit. And that's it. Happy birthday, Andrew, my boy. I know you can hear this, and I'll see you before you even could. But nevertheless, happy birthday. I will see you back here tomorrow, picking up with COVID numbers and more next time. Good Wednesday, and thank you for watching.